So, Mr. Efren Reyes, kasamahan ko sa pelikula. Ilan na ba napatay mo sa pelikula using licensed
Ilang
firearms?
beses na akong pinatay. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Your
You are
Honor.
now recognized, Mr. Efren Reyes Jr. Go ahead.
Thank you po. As a representative of Philippine Shooters and Match Officers Confederation headed by former TESDA Secretary Suharto Mangudadatu, former congressman too, I'm being the Vice President External of PSMOC. The position right now is I agree with mostly of all their resentments and with regards to the mga bills na they're trying to pass, and the position right now for PSMOC is the shooters, ever since the enactment of the RA 10591, we have been what you call this disenfranchised. Because yung iba po binibigyan lang po ng permit to carry na with 500 rounds.
Nanalo na nga sila with that eh.
Yes, sir.
Why do you have to loosen the law? For you to win again?
Or to maintain.
Maintain lang po
Yan.
natin.
Siguro yan.
That's why I do not
Ilagay lang
agree
po
with your
natin.
point, Mr. Reyes.
Kasi nga po yung mga nakaraang mga chief PNP po, I'm not mentioning na, napunta po sa chief PNP ang pagbibigay ng permit to carry sa mga sport shooters wherein we do not carry, we merely transport the firearms.
Hindi. Ang point ko, Mr. Reyes, with the
Opo.
present law, nanalo na kayo ng 1, 2, 3. Yun ang sabi mo eh.
Opo.
Tapos ngayon, luluwagan para magkaroon kayo ng 5,000 na ammunition for one. Kasi limited to 500 according to the law.
The 500 is for the transport of the firearm, of the ammunition to the range.
Yes.
Yung 5,000...
That is not enough.
The 500, usually po, 500 is kung minsan kinukulang pa ang shooter sa firing range for a competition.
Yung PNP, do you agree with that? That 500 is not enough for practice? For one practice session? Under the law, they can replenish. Oh, what's the problem?
Opo.
Wala palang problema eh.
So, ang sinasabi ni Chairman Acop ay we created champions, di ba? The best, no? Using the present law. And in this bill, increasing the amount of ammunition, no? Parang hindi natin nabibit yung purpose, di ba? Unless that we wanted to have more champions, no? In different categories. So probably that's the best answer.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we will just submit our position paper later.
Okay. All right. Kasi yun lang yung narrative po ni Chairman Acop that since we have already approved yung law and we created champions at mga magagaling sa buong mundo, palagay ko ay marami pa na maghahangad kung mas marami yung nagagamit nating mga ammunition during practices ng mga associations. Anyway, siguro, Chairman, we will be discussing that thoroughly on the technical working group. Talagang medyo masalimuot tong isyung to. So, we will be proceeding to the next, Mr. Topacio, are you raising your hand?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Mr. Chair, to answer the question lang of the good Congressman Acop, I think si Mr. Reyes hindi niya masyado explain. A lot of these shooters during the gun ban and most of the time when they practice, a lot of them are in the US because in the US they don't restrict ammunition. If you talk to any shooter here in the Philippines, especially those who compete abroad, I mean, my brother is part of the national team for shotgun, and he can only bring a certain amount of rounds during practice rounds. The minimum amount of ammunition if you want to train competitively, if you want to go to the World Cup, if you want to join the Olympics or the SEA Games, is at least 1,000 to 1,500 rounds a day. And we are only being allowed, I believe, if you're a sports shooter, 500. And during that time, Mr. Chair, even if you replenish, it takes probably a week at most to get a permit to transport. Whereas if you're a competitive shooter and you're representing the Philippines, you would need to practice almost every other day, every day if possible. So I think that is the reason why these proposed amendments are being kaya siya linalatag po sa inyo, Mr. Chair. It's not only to allow yung amount of ammunition to be owned, but also most of the reason is because sports shooters really need to practice with a lot of ammunition. And bear in mind po, Mr. Chair, with the increase of ammunition na pinopropose po dito sa House Bill, from what we understand, this does not only include the civilians. Because as gun stores po, whenever we sell ammunition, even to law enforcement, may it be the PNP, NBI, PDEA, AFP, when they buy ammunition in their personal capacity, we can only sell them 50 rounds.
Okay. That's understandable. Now,
Mr. Chair.
before, sige, Congressman Akop din, Congressman Plato.
Kasi yun lang ang provided for by law and you have to abide by that. Di ba? That is what the law says. Otherwise, criminal cases will be filed against you if
Yes.
you violate that.
Yes. That's why we support the amendment nga po, Mr. Congressman. Thank you po.
All right. So we will be medyo umiinit na ang ating discussion, and that's the reason why we need to create a technical working group on this matter. Kasi
Chair.
medyo contentious siya. Pero because we have an existing law and we have to follow it, and that's the reason why meron tayong amendments na gagawin natin. But of course, it
Mr.
will be also debatable on the technical working group. Resource person, Mr. Alaric Topacio of the AFAD. Alaric, you are now recognized. Before you proceed, Teacher, would like to acknowledge the presence of Congressman Sergio Dagoc of the APEC party list. Sir, welcome. Go ahead.
Honorable Chair, esteemed colleagues, and distinguished guests, as we gather today to discuss the proposed amendments to Republic Act 10591, I, in representation of majority of the companies in the defense industry, is in full support of the Honorable Dan Fernandez's and Congressman Romero's efforts to recalibrate our firearms in a way that not only enhances our national security, but also recognizes the significant economic potential of the firearms industry in the Philippines. We would also like to express our reservations for House Bill 9718, which we will be submitting our position paper in the next few days. The firearms industry is a niche sector. It is a growing and vital part of our economy. When properly regulated, this industry has the capacity to generate thousands of jobs, boost innovation, and contribute to our economic development both locally and internationally. From manufacturing to retail, training, and security services, the economic impact of a thriving firearms industry cannot be overstated. However, Mr. Chair, as we acknowledge the potential for economic growth, we must also address the primary concern of public safety. But let me make this clear. The issue is not with responsible law-abiding citizens who legally own and use firearms. The real problem lies with criminals who possess illegal weapons and use them to commit crimes. We must be careful not to allow laws meant to curb criminal behavior to penalize those who comply with regulations and are committed to using firearms responsibly. It is vital that we distinguish between those who are following the law and those who are exploiting it for criminal purposes. Law-abiding firearm owners who have gone through the necessary legal processes to acquire and register their firearms should not be burdened by additional restrictions that unfairly target them. The problem lies with illegal firearms, which are often trafficked by criminals who have no regard for the law. Therefore, our efforts should focus on strengthening enforcement mechanisms to combat the illegal arms trade and not on punishing responsible citizens who adhere to the legal framework. The economic growth of the firearms industry should not be hindered by unfounded fears of misuse by legitimate owners. Instead, we should ensure that laws are targeted and effective, addressing the root causes of illegal firearms trafficking while supporting responsible gun ownership. By striking the balance, we can ensure the fire industry continues to thrive, create jobs and opportunities for Filipinos without compromising our security. In these challenging economic times, we must support industries that can offer stability and growth. The firearms sector, with its potential to expand domestically and internationally, should be recognized as a key player in our economic strategy. By amending RA 1591, we are not simply adjusting regulations, we are empowering an industry that can generate significant economic returns, provide employment, and support innovation, all while ensuring public safety through focused law enforcement efforts. Let us remember, Mr. Chair, if I would like to emphasize that the goal is not to punish responsible firearm owners, but to protect our society from criminal activity involving illegal firearms. Through these amendments, we can help nurture an industry that benefits our economy and strengthen our national security. Mr. Chair, to cite an example, we have had hearings before with the Senate regarding amendments for RA 10591, and it has been mentioned years before during the previous Senate hearing that less than 5% of registered guns, actually less than 1%, 0.5% of legitimate firearm owners, registered firearms, are used during the elections to commit crimes. Majority, if not almost all of the guns used during election-related violence are all unregistered firearms, illegally acquired firearms. So our primary concern as an industry is we are putting restrictions to legal gun owners, and at the same time, we are punishing legal gun owners for doing something that, whether they use it offensively or defensively. Mr. Chair, we will be submitting a position paper regarding this. Thank you po.
Thank you so much, Mr. Topacio.
Kasi po, para po makapag-practice po kami sa range, and hindi po natin masasabi transport ay mga pistols, revolvers. Sana po mapagbigyan po tayo. Bakit po kailangan natin ng permit to transport ng mga rifles? Kasi po, para po makapag-practice po kami sa range, and hindi po natin masasabi, wag naman po sana mangyari, no? Pagka magkagulo po rito, kami pong mga legal gun owners ay pwede pong maging force multipliers. Kaya po, paano po kami magiging force multipliers kung yung mga rifles po namin ay nakatambay lang po sa bahay o nagiging paperweight lang po, nakadisplay lang po nasa gun cabinet? Sana po mga sir, bigyan po ninyo kaming ng pagkakataon na mailabas po namin ang aming mga rifles upang makapag-practice po kami. Huwag po kayo mag-alala, kami po mga responsible gun owners ay dumaan po sa mga requirements po ninyo, neuropsych, drug test. Sumunod po kami sa lahat ng mga requirements, patakaran po ng kinauukulan upang makakuha po kami ng LTAP. Sana po it's about time na pagkatiwalaan niyo naman po ang mga responsible gun owners. Huwag niyo po kami pagdudahan o hindi po kami yung kalaban. Sabi nga po nila Ma'am Gina, pare-pareho po tayong galit sa mga loose firearm. Sila po yung nagko-cause ng crime, hindi po kami. At kung meron man po na meron po man mga responsible gun owners na gumawa ng crime, I think it's about less than 0.1% lang po yun, ayon po sa statistics. Muli po, nagpapasalamat po kami, mga legal gun owners na sa gun community sa pagkakataon na binigay po niyo sa amin.
Mr. Chair. Okay, Congressman, are you done with your, are you done,
Apo.
Sige, Congressman Bosita, please.
Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang i-clarify kay Mr. Ong Tebes. Ano po ang basis ninyo para sabihin ninyo lahat tayo may threat?
Kung nababalitaan naman po natin sa mga balita, sa mga newspapers, sa mga TV, may mga naho-hold up po, yung mga ganon, nabibiktima po ng crime.
So, Mr. Chair, is Mr. Ong saying na even ordinary employee dito may threat? Ganun po ba? Gusto ko lang malinawan po kasi medyo nakakatakot yung ano nyo po para sa mga ordinary individuals na lahat pala may threat.
Yeah, what I'm saying is meron po tayong potential na maging victim po ng mga crime, mga street crimes po.
So insisting po kayo na lahat may threat? Lahat? Ibig sabihin pong lahat, 100% ng Pilipino may threat? Yun po ba ang gusto niyo sabihin, Mr. Tevez?
Pwede po yun. Opo.
Hindi po yung pwede. Ang gusto ko pong i-clarify sa'yo, pag sinabi po ninyong lahat, 100%, kahit yung mga bata na inosente.
Ay, hindi naman po. Hindi naman po.
So,
I stand corrected po, Your Honor.
paki-correct po ninyo kasi hindi po tama yon na parang sobrang gulo na sa
Ay,
Pilipinas.
hindi naman po. Hindi po yung ibig kong sabihin, Your Honor.
Pwede po ba, Mr. Chen, na ma-strike out yung kanya statement
Yes
na
po.
lahat may threat?
Right, so there's a motion to strike out that
Thank you po, Congressman
portion of your
Busita. Thank you po.
position.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Ako, please.
point of order. I think the resource person is willing to withdraw from his former statement. So there's no need for us to come up with a motion to strike out the statement.
Opo. I stand corrected po. Sorry po.
Okay, so we'll be striking that out. The COMSEC is hereby directed to strike that portion of his statement. Are you satisfied, Congressman Busita? Please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Kinawag ko lang, Mr. Chair, kasi yung ating pong mga kababayan, medyo naalarma pagka may mga information na hindi naman tama. Ang dami na nga fake news, dadagdagan pa natin. Maraming salamat po, Mr.
I
Chair.
agree with that. We have to be careful with our statement. No?
Sorry po, Your Honor.
Yeah, we understand. But especially now that yung social media ay napaka-bumilis pumikap ng mga statements that are being delivered on every committee on the House of Representatives. So let us be careful.